I'm Steven Armstrong. This is my boss, Nate Adamski.
He's calling me his boss.
You look like the boss.
With us is a producer, Nathaniel Sylvester, as always.
Hey, how's it going? I'm off screen. But you know what I can do right now? I could like afterward make my voice sound like really weird right now.
Distorted.
I'm gonna just make it like all reverbed out and really. Anyways, I'm gonna do that after the fact.
And this is our special guest today.
Mike.
One of the best drummers I've ever met in my entire life, Mike Mayhem.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
How many drummers have you met?
I met like 2.
Chismoso. Chismoso. Chismoso.
Yeah, hey, that's good. That's good.
Dave.
Yeah,
right.
You and Dave.
It's just me and Dave out there. Shout
You're
out
both
to Dave.
excellent. That's why I said one of them.
One
of the
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
I didn't say best.
I shouldn't have picked
Out
that
of the
apart.
2, you're pretty good.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. Hey, I'll take it.
Oh
Above average drummer.
Above average.
Out of the
drummer.
2,
So fucking funny.
forever.
Since you were like,
Yeah, I got my
born-
first drum set when I was 3, and then I just
shit.
never stopped playing.
Were you always
Fuck
like
you.
before that, like just banging on stuff?
Apparently, yeah. I don't remember, but I say apparently because my parents were like, "Oh, we
They
used to bring
knew.
out a suitcase," and like my dad had sticks.
Do you
'cause
think
he's a
he
musician
knew?
too?
Do you think your dad knew though, or did you
I
think
mean,
he
it's-
forced it on you? Because he's
No,
also
no,
a
he didn't. He didn't force it
musician.
at all. It was just like always around.
Right.
And then when I was like drumming on a suitcase, he's like, maybe we should get him a real
drum.
thing. And then it's cool because most parents are like, "Fuck no, you're not getting a drum set."
Yeah.
The neighbors, also me, like I'm not listening. I'm not listening to that, and I wouldn't blame them.
Did your parents get you a dope drum set? Was it like
The
for
first
a
one-
3-year-old? I mean, like
Yeah, it wasn't like a like
Was it
Toys
like-
R Us drum set.
Okay,
It was
yeah.
like an actual drum
Yeah,
set, but it was a
I
little bit
had-
smaller, and it was actually a jazz drum set.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because jazz drums tend to be like the kick drum.
I
It's kind
had
of small.
a Toys R Us drum set with the
That's dope,
American
too.
Idol logo on the base.
Oh, dude, sick.
Okay, so don't
I'm
fucking
not.
diss.
No, I'm not
the
dissing.
Toys
American
R Us.
Idol.
Yeah, I was like, it was not from Toys R Us, dude.
I know, you're
This
like,
is
no,
real
I had
shit.
a real
Yeah.
drum set.
This was fucking. This was a fucking real jazz kit.
So
No,
it
it's
was
called a
jazz.
Sunlight. I don't know if that company still exists, but
So what was it? It was a snare, a bass,
like an actual 5-piece kit.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
yeah,
Holy
which
shit.
is like kick, snare, tom, tom, tom.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you
Crazy.
first learn? Like, what was like your first song you were able to?
I
play
have
on
no
drums?
idea, but that's how I learned to play drums. Was just listening to music that
And
I
just kinda
liked,
following
and then I
along.
just So I've developed a bunch of shitty habits over the years from not actually like taking lessons, which now I'm trying to go back and undo, and I'm working harder on it now than I ever have.
Dude, you were saying earlier we bumped. This was so crazy. We bumped into my accident today before hours ago at Guitar Center. None the fucking
Yeah, which is I was telling you, it's
I
funny.
think all of us were kind of embarrassed to be like that. We were all by a
Yeah,
guitar
we
center.
were like, yeah, we were like,
We're like,
oh,
oh,
you're
Yeah,
here,
fuck,
right?
it's like going into
Wow.
like a sex toy shop. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's
this is
like,
not for me.
geez.
It's not for me.
This is my friend.
No, it's not mine. It's not mine.
I don't need to be here.
Yeah, it was funny because I was telling him I never go there,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
Us
yeah.
neither.
Yeah.
Ne-
Yeah,
we
you're like,
never go
I hate that
there.
place. Fucking what?
I never
Yeah.
go to Guitar Center. Yeah, dude. No, that was so funny. And then, but you're on your way to a lesson, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. I went to a drum lesson.
Mhm.
Dave Elich is the guy. He's amazing.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Dave Elich because he's for sure gonna see this.
Yeah,
Just shouting you out, man. But no, I like him a lot. His approach is just super no bullshit. Also, not time wasting. He's like, I want you to play things that whatever your goals are, that's gonna help you do that. Not waste time with just like busy work.
That's cool.
Which a lot of people do, not even intentionally. It's really easy, like if you're passionate about something, to just like, not really think too much about exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But when it comes to music and your goals as a musician, he's just like, what do you want? Okay, let me help you do that.
Mhm.
So I really like that.
What-
And I think that's important with anyone learning anything from somebody else, is like being able to trust them and have them do the right thing.
What is something that you want right now that he's teaching?
What am I teaching?
Yeah, like,
what
are
is
you
he
learning?
teaching me?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what are you learning right now that you think is making you a better drummer increasingly?
Well, it's kind of funny because like I was saying, I learned how to play drums just from like not even thinking about it and just playing it and listening to
Yeah.
things. So like I was saying, I developed a lot of bad habits and even just like posture stuff and not even being fully relaxed when I'm playing.
Yeah.
And when COVID happened, I actually just stopped caring about being a musician because I was like, who the fuck knows now?
Right.
Like, how is this going to bounce back? And then I just kind of like stopped practicing and stopped caring. And I was like, all right, well, it's a good thing like I own a business and that's not closing down because,
Right.
you know, maybe that's just my thing now. But either way, after that kind of blew over and I got out of that, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to go back to the basics and just whatever I'm already doing, try and do that while being relaxed and having good posture and like really just not overthinking everything I'm playing.
Yeah.
And then now that I've been working on that, I'm just trying to develop my vocabulary. And I don't know, it's just kind of like developing certain things that I can play that are out of my element right now and trying to make more of a style out of that, I guess.
Is that what you mean when you say vocabulary?
Yeah. It's kind of hard to explain if it's if you're not really immersed in music, but
Yeah.
it's just yeah, like everyone has certain tendencies with what they're playing, and breaking out of that is what makes you have your own style. And listening to a lot of different music, and particularly in rock and metal music, it's so easy to just play like the thing.
Right.
Like everyone knows, oh, here comes like that fill that I've heard fucking
So like your
50
style,
times.
or your
Right.
soul, or like
Yeah.
the part that's you. That's
Yeah.
That's different. I see. Yeah.
yeah. How can I have my own style? Because that
Yeah.
would be cooler,
I love that.
you know, to have my own thing.
That's amazing.
So I'm just gonna try and do that.
Who do you not try to emulate, but who are drummers that you love that you've looked up to as a drummer growing up?
I mean, first one that comes to mind is Mario Duplantier from Gojira,
Yeah.
which is funny because I don't really play that heavy of music,
Right.
and a lot of that stuff's really, really fast. Same with Thomas Hake from Meshuggah. He plays just insane shit all the time, and like I would never, if I tried to do that in my band, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But it's cool to just catch some ideas from that, and then even if it's only for like, you know, a second in a song, play something crazy that like fits what's happening. So those are like two guys just right off the bat.
Yeah,
And then
That dude from
growing up
Gojira.
playing, I listened to the Red Hot Chili Peppers like
knew
throughout
that.
my
Right.
whole childhood. Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that
And
to
that's
be
just kind of just
Gojira.
more groove based and more straightforward stuff. He never plays anything insane, but everything is just fucking, it gets people moving.
Oh, it's super
know?
funk. Yeah, it's super.
Yeah.
funk.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So I want to make sure I bring that to whatever I'm playing, even if it's something fast or if it's not that style like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Still want to make it feel like it makes sense.
Yeah,
Right.
You know?
totally.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite bands? Would you say?
I already said them.
Are you-
Like no, it's Gojira, Meshuggah, Avenged Sevenfold,
Right.
Mastodon, Alice in Chains.
Have you heard of this band called Toe? It's like a Japanese band.
No.
They they're very like their drummer goes hard.
Oh,
Like,
really?
all their songs.
Toe?
Yeah, it kind of feels like a big drum solo, like.
Okay.
Right, but like it's I'll send them some stuff to you, see if you like it, because I'm
Yeah.
very curious to see what you think of them.
do,
Please do.
do you like System of a Down?
Oh yeah.
I feel like
course.
that drummer's. I don't know his name, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's John Dolmayan, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
probably
he's,
saying that
he's
so
great.
wrong.
He's a great fucking drummer.
Yeah, dude, System of a Down's great. I just saw them at California, the Bank Stadium, whatever the hell it's
With
called.
Corn?
Yeah, with Korn.
You were
Korn
at
is
that
another
show?
one of my
No way.
favorite bands. Yeah.
Oh my
Dude.
god.
Why, were you there?
I wanted to go to that show so bad. No, dude, I wasn't there. I would have been fucking jizzing about it.
Oh yeah, that's well, that's what I did. Yeah, I just jizzed the whole time.
yeah.
The entire
the
time.
whole entire
The entire time. Yeah, everyone was looking at me like, "What the fuck
No,
is wrong
dude,
with
that
him?"
looked like
We
such a
heard
good
a show.
show.
It was
dude.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
love
Well,
Jonathan
it's funny
Davis.
because like I have a love-hate relationship with going to shows because every time I'm like, God damn it, like I just want to play here.
Yeah.
Like every
Right.
of
time.
course.
Yeah.
That's just always like,
That's
oh
how
man.
I feel on
But
comedy
when
shows.
you go,
Yeah.
So how often do you say you see like live music?
Oh, I mean,
I feel like you
at
play
least
more.
every few months.
Do you feel like
Minimum.
do you only see people you like, or like do you feel like most of the time when you see live music, are you like pretty impressed, or are you pretty like do you feel like the standard bar of live music has gotten higher or lower over the
Jesus.
years? And that's kind of
Well-
a big question, you know, but just from your perspective.
For the bands that I like, I'm gonna be biased and be like, yeah, I love seeing this, but I try and be honest about it too. Like it's funny, I also saw Tool recently,
Oh, dope.
and you know, even somebody like that, it's like now I'm at the point where I can recognize like little human moments when they're playing, to where the average person, A, is not gonna give a fuck about that at all,
Yeah.
and B, not be able to just even pick that out. Like they're not even remotely gonna be like, oh, that little thing.
Totally.
But since it's, you know, I play music, I see that stuff all the time, and I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. Like it's fine if I don't go up there and like nail it every single time, because that's just not even realistic. If you're
Yeah.
playing
Right.
live music, and you're not going to be perfect. That's not what playing music is about, you know?
Yeah.
So I do think it's changed. The standard has changed, but so has what people listen to and like.
And do you
as
feel
far
like
as the general
do you
public.
feel like the general public's taste has gotten better or worse over time?
I mean, first of all, look at me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get a lot of the super popular music. Like, not to
Yeah.
sound like, oh, you know, I don't get it.
No,
And like,
no.
I do like a lot of stuff that's really popular. Like Tame Impala, I fucking love
Yeah.
that stuff.
Nate
But for
hates
me,
Tame
it's
Impala.
like,
Do not like
but
Well,
I like it too. I like it.
I like it, and it's for me. I've tried to stop worrying about like why I like something.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, like this little thing like bugs me, and like that's the reason I won't
Yeah.
like it. And I'm just like, dude, just shut up and listen, and
Yeah.
try not to listen like a musician.
Yeah,
too.
totally.
Because that's not what it's about. Like it's art.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't have to have a reason to like a song. Or
Well, and sometimes like putting things in genres blocks people off to what they could potentially like, because it's like, oh, I don't like
Right.
metal or I don't like rap, so it's like they won't even be. But if you just view everything as just music, and you
Yeah.
know, then it's like
There's
anyone
no
could
boundaries
like
in that.
anything. Yeah.
the
Totally.
second you start putting boundaries on art, it can get fucked. Unless you're trying to go for a specific thing and you're
Totally.
intentionally setting those boundaries. Right?
Totally.
Right.
But when you're just listening and trying to immerse yourself in music, like I just think you're missing out on a lot of things if
Yeah.
you're just like, oh well, that thing immediately just turns me off no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
So-
You gotta be open to all of.
Yeah.
It. There's no wrong answers in music too. I always
Right.
say that. I think that's so true.
And I think that kind of opens up. That's kind of just like in general with everyday life. It's just kind of like you should try and be more open-minded than closed-minded.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
yeah, it's a
you
lot,
know.
it's a lot
Totally.
more fun.
you'll
It's a
gain
lot more
more.
fun.
Yeah, you'll just get more out of it.
Yeah.
You know.
No, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're in a band called Chasing Desolation.
I am.
They
Yes.
fucking rock. Check them out. We're gonna link them at the bottom. Of
Yeah,
the
they're
video.
great. I'm there. They're amazing.
How
though.
long have you been in the band? How long has the band been?
Yeah.
So
been?
the band's been a thing for a long time, like way before I joined, which is I think 5 years ago now. They're originally from the Bay Area, and in high school, my singer and my guitar player, they played music together, and that was the name of the project. It was Chasing Desolation. They went separate ways and just did other things, and then eventually came back to that, and then moved to LA. They're like, oh, cool, let's go get the LA scene, and then, you know, it's not really that much of a scene for what we do in LA, which, you know, even more so now because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how we linked up, and I literally just like Facebook messaged them like, hey, like I see you're auditioning, and then I thought they had like a bunch of people lined up. And then like recently I found out they're like, dude, oh, you were the only fucking one. Like we didn't, yeah. And then they also
So
told
like
me,
it's good that you did vibe, like, and you guys vibed right off the bat, or
oh yeah, immediately. It was
Okay.
perfect. Yeah, it was perfect for my style. And I mean, I still feel that way. I'm super happy with everything. I
Yeah.
love being in the band. And
do y'all ever have drama? Like, do y'all ever like fight and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
I
What's
mean,
the
it's
craziest
impossible
band
to
fight?
not. When you're all passionate about something
Yeah.
and it comes down to a song, right? Which is like, hey, we are all going to do our best to throw the best idea at this and make this song like, hey, this is what this needs.
Yeah.
It can get tense, but it's never to the point where it's like,
Like no one's like throwing
a bad
anything at someone
situation.
else or like
no, fuck no. No,
raise
dude,
their
we haven't.
voice.
I don't think we've been doing it long enough
feel
for
like-
that.
yeah.
Well, yeah. No, you
I
ever,
also feel like that's like a high school band. You know, that's like an immature band.
no, that's true. That is. Yeah. I think
It
at
all
a
comes
certain
down to
point-
your intentions. You know, even
Yeah.
you know, like with my friends or people that I surround myself with, if the intentions aren't good, then I'm not interested.
Gotcha,
and
yeah.
all of us have the same intention of making music that we love and want to share with everybody, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
So we try not to overthink it, and if it comes down to somebody being like, "No, this is the fucking thing," but all three of the other guys are like, "No, sorry, sometimes you got to eat shit."
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
sit back.
Totally.
You know, it's
Do
four
you-
people.
As a drummer, do you feel like you have a strong artistic voice and choices in the band, though?
Yeah, I do. I have a tendency to actually like underplay or like reserve myself because I'm so focused on like, okay, like I just want to make sure that I'm supporting the song and not just overplaying.
Right.
To where they're usually like, hey, like give me something right there.
Okay.
Like this is a big part.
But don't
Go
you
off.
I feel like
That's cool.
I would argue that drums, while I feel like maybe the public who don't know music very well would think about it the least, is arguably the most
important
important
thing.
part in any song.
Dude, yeah, when you're
Yeah.
making a beat, that's like how do people know when to
Well, it's
Everyone
literally, it's like
follows
the
the beat.
vehicle that moves the song. You know,
It really
It's sort
is,
of
yeah.
Like, if you
Yeah.
have bad drums in a song, then no matter how good everything else is, like,
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, human beings they identify with patterns.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it can be sound or visual, and it's super important to be, just make the pulse right, and that's the first thing that I focus on.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about like, oh, what can I do? I just like to sit back and just get the overall like, hey, I'm gonna set the pace,
Yeah.
and if everyone else is cool with this pace in the band, great,
Yeah.
and then I'll start worrying about all the other crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But most of the time in music that's listenable to a lot of people, they don't care about just going crazy the whole time. Like
Yeah.
people just naturally are like, they want something that's easy to understand and to listen to.
Yeah.
And not that we try and cater our music to that, but it just so happens to good songwriting, that stuff kind of matters.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
It's
we like to think we do a good
Yeah,
job
you
of
guys,
Yeah.
for as metal as you guys are, it's still very poppy. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
think it's very much like, how is like palpable. It's a palpable type of
Right.
sound. You know, it's not like too heavy or too hard for someone to get into. I don't
Yeah.
think,
Right.
You know?
And that's not even a conscious thing. It just kind of comes down to like, we're not trying too hard to do anything. If we write a song, I don't care what it sounds like yet. If we're just going through the ideas and just trying to write, it's like, let's just see where this goes. And if there's some
Totally.
screaming in it, great. If not, like, okay,
Uh,
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to be in all of the bands that I listen to, which is kind of a weird thing.
What? So what?
I feel
Go
like-
into that further. Like, what is that? How
Well, a lot of the bands that I listen to, like for example, somebody like Meshuggah, where I was saying their drummer is just going off the entire time.
Right.
It's just like pure fucking insanity. Like
Uh-huh.
that's not only is that very specific to a certain community of people that care about that, it's extremely like physically demanding.
Yeah.
And when I'm playing music, I'm not doing it to be super technical and again just like crazy all the time. What gets me stoked on playing drums is just throwing shit down and having people react to it. And the more people that can do that, the better, So I don't
Nice.
want to limit myself to a band that's like, you need to practice fucking 3 hours a day or else you're not going to be able to play this shit. You're not going to be able to keep up.
Right.
It's just like, it takes some of the fun out
Yeah.
for me. But if I go see it live, I'm like, holy shit, I'll never be able to do that. And that's awesome. And that's awesome, though. I
It's
need
just
that
fucking
too.
awesome.
There-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your band, you guys just came out with a music video.
Yeah.
For your new single.
Yeah, it's called Maze of White.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a 2-year-old single. Our album,
Okay.
our debut album dropped in 2020 in February.
Right.
It's like right before COVID.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we were literally on a tour in March, and then we had
Yeah.
12 shows booked, played 4 of them, and then we're like, well, fuck, can we even get back into California? We were in like, I think our last show that we played before everything got shut down was in Arizona, in Tempe, Arizona. And like everyone kind of knew. It was literally the night before the lockdown. Like everyone that was at the show was just super cool. It was mainly other like punk bands, which we're not really punk. We're kind of more rock
Mhm.
and a little bit of metal. But yeah, it was just amazing. And then that was it for years. It was
Man.
almost 2 years.
Was that a hell of a show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
This-
fun.
Because everyone knows this is it.
Yeah,
you
this
know?
is like
was
the
it
Yeah.
last
hype?
hurrah.
Well, that's what I was saying. The energy was great from the
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone knew, and it was just like a whole thing. Like, all right, let's fucking go. Let's
Yeah.
play
It's
this
the
little
end of
little
the
bar.
world.
That's
Let's
crazy.
fucking
yeah,
party.
I was at
Yeah.
a show too when I found out. It was like my last show before.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the night before lockdown or something like that.
That's a weird time, yeah.
It
And
was
then
so-
not knowing how long, like nobody. This was supposed to be 2 weeks, right? This whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
2
they said.
fucking
That's what they
weeks.
pitched us.
Right.
Yeah, so then
they-
after a while- Yeah.
Like maybe
nice
just stay
pitch.
inside for like 2 weeks. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
2 years later.
And then after a while, it was just kind of like, well, I don't know. And that's kind of why I sunk into that thing where I was just like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be the musician that I've wanted to be my whole life.
How long have you owned the pizza place?
That's been 5 years.
So same time around the same amount of time as the band that you.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, actually. I used to work at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And I was doing that, and
I
then the
remember.
pizzeria opened, and had no idea I'd be managing the pizzeria. And
So
after
beyond
few
knowing a ton
months-
about drumming, you know like a fuckload about pizza as well.
How does
Yeah, no,
where's
I
the
actually-
crossover?
Yeah, is there
drumming and
crossover?
pizza, honestly.
What do you mean? Like,
Just like, is there an artistic?
Is there an artistic crossover? Like,
in
is there
making
anything you've
pizza
learned from pizza
and
that you apply to
drumming?
drumming? Anything you've learned from drumming that you apply to pizza?
I don't even know. It's more so the people that are in it. Like, I'm gonna be at Pizza Expo in Vegas next week. Yeah, that sounds like the nerdiest fucking thing.
No
it's like
way.
Comic-Con where I'm gonna dress up as Pizza. No, no, it's
Your
like
favorite slice.
no the yeah.
There's like a pizza scene. Like there's like a pizza.
Totally.
Pizza underground.
Totally.
Wow.
No, there is a fucking Pizza Expo is literally a convention in Vegas. It's kind of like NAMM show for musicians,
Okay,
where
yeah.
it's a bunch of merchants that set up their booth, and it could be like a fucking cheese company, tomatoes, whatever it is, and all of these people, most of the people that go own a business and are going to the seminars and trying to learn from all these other people that are like really successful, and that community, like a lot of people have a bunch of tattoos, they love music. Like one of the guys, his brother was in Chimera, which is like a pretty big metal band. Like a lot of these people are super artistic, and that's probably the crossover is the artistic aspect.
And do you like
Okay.
pizza?
Yeah, at this point.
So
At this point.
I am passionate about running a business, but I do not want to keep patting pizzas. Like I don't care about making pizza.
I get that.
You know.
But you don't enjoy eating it?
Well, yeah, pizza's good, but I prefer pasta.
Yeah. all right.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, give me some fucking ziti.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Would you guys ever
True
add would you ever
Italian
add
right here.
pasta to your menu at the
Yeah,
at the
we're
place?
going to.
You're going to?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But that's a crossover. It's very artistic for people that are like, oh, I love creating this thing with my hands. I like to do that, but with music,
Yeah.
not on the fucking line.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
During
you
dinner
ever-
rush.
Did you ever feel that way about
And-
Starbucks?
Yeah, yeah, right. Love coffee. Do I want to be a barista?
No.
Fuck.
It's just-
Definitely not.
I do feel like y'all's pizza is, and I've told you this when we were there. It is fucking amazing though. It is
Thanks, man.
legitimately the best pizza in this entire area by far. You know what I mean?
Thank you. See,
Parma
that's
pizza,
what
y'all.
that's what I love to hear.
Dude, I lived in
yeah.
New York for the last 7 years, so I'm like came with
So you
such a
fucking know.
no. I come with such a pretentious kind of viewpoint, and it is
Yeah.
hands down like the best by far.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, the
Yeah.
New Yorkers are important.
Yeah,
They are.
They
They
are.
if they fucking hate it, they will tell you. And even if they love it, they're still somehow being an asshole about it.
What's
Yeah.
like what's I mean, you don't have to say exactly, but what's like the secret? Like, how do you guys get it so much?
Ingredient.
Why is
Hotels.
it's so much better than
Dude,
all the
it's-
other pizza in the area?
I don't know. My dad, who's just like super Italian and way more passionate about just food itself than I am, has spent years and years of, as he's a touring musician, he would go around and just like, he's a foodie. Any
Yeah.
state that you or city that you talk about, he's like, oh, you got to try this place on,
Right.
whatever the fuck it is. And he was just super passionate about finding all of the good products and the ingredients and just talking to people that know way more than us. And
Wow.
that's it, dude. We just spend extra money on good ingredients. A lot of it's imported, which kind of sucked for COVID because then it was like, oh, well, now we're out of this thing that
Right.
everybody
Yeah.
really likes. But yeah, a lot of our shit's like from Italy.
And it's
Oh,
wow.
Detroit style, right?
We have three. We have Detroit style, New York style, and then wood fire pizza. So Neapolitan.
Cool.
Man,
And that
my-
in itself
my
is
mouth
hard.
is watering thinking about this pizza.
Yeah,
It is
I
so
am
fucking. I already know
so
what my
hungry.
family's order. We get
Good,
a
dude.
giant cheese, we get a giant mushroom pizza, and then we get jalapeno pineapple.
Hell yeah.
No.
We always do.
I'm not
it.
judging you for those toppings at all. It's all good. We get this really good pizza, and then we just fuck it up. With jalapenos.
Really good pizza.
No, I'm just kidding, dude. No, I really appreciate it because we do. That's what I care about is having people come in and be like, "Holy shit, this is one of my favorite places to eat."
It's
I'm
the
not
best.
super
Like, that place
invested in like,
Butler's.
making pizza.
Not to talk shit, but let's talk shit. That place Butler's not as good.
Not as good.
So that's the
That's
cheese.
the
That's the Chismoso.
That's the Chismoso.
And I know you said they're like your guys' biggest rivals, right? Or-
One of the big places around us are Butler's, Toppers, which understandable. It's like a super family, bring
Yeah,
the whole
big
baseball
old
team
chain.
type of thing.
Yeah.
And then Diamore's too, which is up the street. But here's the
I
thing.
don't like Demari's.
This is what I have to say about Diamore's.
All right.
They advertise. Well, we are too. I'm not even
I
gonna
don't
lie.
think,
We
I
are.
think no, I think you're well priced.
No, you're well priced.
I
We've
think
talked
that-
about this because you guys are a
yeah.
little more expensive than Butler's, but we've said like you guys are worth
I think it's a better
the price
sale. Yeah, I
versus
think it's
Butler.
worth the
It's
price.
bet. Yeah, you guys
Well,
are.
thank you.
With all those ingredients you get from fucking Italy. I'd
Yeah,
pay for that.
dude,
No,
those
if you-
the fucking Italian
sausage,
pineapple's really
dude.
expensive.
Yeah,
Plus,
the
if people
sausage.
pay for it, then fucking it's supply and demand, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Aren't you opening another storefront?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to open Agora
killing
Hills
it.
All right.
They
off
are.
of
then you're
Canaan.
fucking killing it.
Off of Canaan?
Yeah.
Damn.
Next to an Italian deli.
Right now,
I'll see you
Farmers
soon.
on Teal Boulevard in Thousand Oaks, California.
It's so
if you wanna
good.
try it. It's
It really is so
Come
good.
see
so
me.
good.
Come see me
Come see
in a
Mike.
hat with flour all over me. Just fucking
It sounds like the
desperate.
opening of a porno.
Just so.
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the
You want this
pizza.
pizza?
Yeah.
You got the
Pizza.
sausage.
I can't pay for this pizza.
Yeah.
Maybe we can figure something out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
That's
Yeah.
That's exactly what I do every day.
Anyone that comes in there is trying to fuck them.
That's the best ingredient.
do you feel like do you get more girls from the pizza or from the drumming? Would you say? Like,
Fucking-
which are the ladies
Fucking
more
neither,
into?
dude. I'm too busy. I fucking don't play enough shows, and I'm working all the time. I can't shoot my shot from the line. Like, oh hey, no,
Behind
that's,
the drum set, just like, what's your name?
yeah, hey. No, that's definitely my preferred method. Is like playing a good show and then be like, holy
Pizza.
shit,
I think pizza's
that's
the
cool.
funnier way.
But if they're like, yeah, that's not
Hey, baby,
impressive
want
to
a
see me
slice?
fucking hunched over a fucking condiment rail.
But then they try the pizza and they're like, oh, you're
And then they're like,
so
holy
good at
shit, this
making
guy's
fucking
good.
pizza.
yeah,
God.
fucking never.
I
But
love you.
yeah.
I didn't know love until I had this pizza.
And so yeah, right. Well, I mean that probably is a perk though.
Yeah.
You know, telling a girl, hey, you want free pizza
Oh,
all the time,
totally.
or telling anyone really.
Oh my god.
Hey, dude, do you want free pizza?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
just hang out with me more. Yeah.
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 Do you want to come on my podcast?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Yeah, I'm just here to talk about pizza, so that I can give it to Nate for free.
I
That's
love
it.
visiting you at work, not for the free pizza, but just for fucking with your coworkers.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember one time in the middle of the night, I went to go see him. It was like they were just closing, and I was tripping balls,
Literally on
I was like,
acid.
When they-
Knocks on the window, and I'm
Start-
like, holy shit. And then proceeded to hang out with him while he was on acid. And then I remember this, dude. I asked the dumbest question ever in my entire fucking life. You guys were tripping balls, and I was like, how long have you been tripping? And as somebody who's done mushrooms, like definitely like around 10 times,
Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck would I ever ask someone that, hey, how long has it been? Like, your concept of time is gone.
Right.
And then you were just so polite, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't really know the answer to that question. Like, I felt so fucking stupid. Like, oh, you've been tripping, dude? How long? Like, when'd you drop it?
How you,
Fucking
how you
idiot.
feeling right now? You feeling
Yeah,
nervous?
you're
You're
ner-
comfortable?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
You scared?
Well, I was making his coworkers scared because I was just standing outside the window, just like glaring into the window.
He was rubbing his belly. He was like salivating.
I was like trying
Pizza.
to freak him out, but then I didn't realize like.
And then it didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fine. I was like, oh, it's fucking Nate. Everyone else was like, what the fuck is going on?
But okay, but I guess back to the because you're the boss at the pizza place, right? Like they all report to you.
Yeah. I'm a manager owner.
Okay, so are you like a hard ass? Or are you like pretty chill? Like, what's your style?
Well, we can bring all my employees in and see what they say. But no, I don't know. I'm kind of like, it's weird because I'm in between. You know,
Okay, yeah.
I like structure, just no matter what. Like, things have to be standardized and structured. But I also don't want people coming to work being like, oh my God, my fucking manager is like the worst.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
So I just find that balance between like, hey, it's okay to have a good time at work. Because also we have an open kitchen. And like anything that happens in the kitchen, it's like people are going to see what's going on. So it's like, I don't want them seeing people that just look like everything's fucking miserable.
Yeah.
But I also don't want them like, you know, two girls at the register like for fucking, you know,
yeah,
2 hours.
totally.
Which can happen sometimes. So it's
Yeah.
like a weird thing where it's like, I want people to actually like working there. But there's no bullshit. Like, we do have to work hard.
But do you
We're a
think they're
small
like, are they
business.
scared of you at all? Do you think? Like,
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because most of the time I'm really cool. So then when I'm not cool about something, they're like, "Holy fuck!" It's more,
yeah.
it's more of an impactful thing.
Right.
But I've
Yeah.
never
It's
I've
like-
never raised my voice to an employee. I've never been like, never sworn at
Have you had to
somebody.
fire- Have you had to
you're
fire
not
anyone?
angry at them.
What's
You're
that?
have you had to
disappointed.
fire anyone?
Oh fuck yeah!
Is that?
Yeah.
I fired. Somebody just asked me this the other day, like 15 people in 5 years.
What is that process like? Like, is that
Depends on the motherfucker, dude.
like? I mean, you fired people. Like, what's like
the craziest
Yeah, what's the
person you
craziest?
Oh, you want the
Fired.
best story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. The
Oh, this is-
Chismoso. The guy.
Oh my god, I feel like if they're not gonna watch. I had a
You don't have to use her name or anything like that.
Yeah. No, so anyway, I fired somebody who was shit faced on the clock and drank what I later found out. It was our beer that she stole. She's going in the bathroom. So I'm having a conversation outside with probably one of my other managers because I don't know. We don't have an office there.
Right.
And we don't want to talk about everything in front of everybody. So usually we're like, hey, we'll be outside for a minute. Let us know if you need anything.
Sure.
One of my employees opens the door. Hey, I think this girl is on drugs or something. I'm like, elaborate? What? And he's like, yeah, she's just slurring her words and just acting really weird. So I walk in there and oh boy, this girl is at the register, giving someone a pizza. And we have a little, I'm sorry if this is too long. We have a little,
no, dude, go.
Keep
we,
it
Go.
we have a
I'm
POS
so in my
system.
seat.
Yeah,
So invested.
we have a POS system that flips over and you sign your name. So she has this thing not really flipped over. This dude's trying to sign it and she's like, you have such a beautiful signature, sir. Oh my God, that's amazing. And this fucking coolest guy ever is like, oh well, thank you. This really nice old guy that comes in a lot. So I'm just like, what should we wear gloves? One of her gloves is torn fucking Jiminy Cricket, the toe poking out. It's just hanging off, and I'm just clearly fucked
So
up.
do you fire her right then and there?
Oh, yeah, but oh shit, sorry.
You're good.
You can't just fire somebody. I'm so mad. I'm gonna break shit. No, I can't tell a drunk person right there. It's not easy to fire anyone because
Yeah.
I do feel bad sometimes if they don't deserve it.
Yeah. She deserves
But
it.
firing a drunk person, that's you can't reason with somebody that's shit faced.
Right.
So I tried to diffuse the situation. I was like, hey, okay, look, we're gonna go outside for a minute. Let's just talk. And she's like, oh, not to mention, 5 minutes before this, we had another interview show up. This person that had a resume was walking up outside. We saw him in the window. She's like, is she replacing me?
Oh,
Am I being replaced? In the middle of the fucking kitchen. I'm like, what are you? What? No. But now I'm thinking about it. She's fucking acting crazy, and then I had to replace her.
Yeah.
5 minutes later.
5 minutes later.
I'm not replacing
Yeah.
you.
So
You want
between
a
that
job?
and the Jiminy Cricket glove, I was like, no. And nobody's signature's beautiful. Shut the fuck up. I took her out back and was like, hey, I need you to call somebody to get you a ride. I didn't even tell her she was fired because it was just there's no way.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she broke down and was like, I'm in a sober living already, and I run shit, and I'm just other employees are showing up watching me talk to this girl
man.
outside. Did someone die? What's going on? And then I had to walk back in there and be like, yeah, she's shit faced. I have to fire her now. So that was an interesting,
Oh my gosh.
interesting
But,
story.
But have you fired someone where they've had they've broken down?
Oh,
crying?
her?
Well,
Number
besides
one.
her, I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that generally
She was
the
fucking
reaction,
crying, and then the
or-
poor boyfriend shows up because all I had her do, I said, hey, call your ride and say you need to leave work. So she couldn't tell him I'm being fired. That she was just I need you to pick me up. So to his point, he's showing up what the fuck is happening? So I'm
Yeah.
standing outside and I'm like, hey man, sorry, just had to send her home today, and I didn't really say anything else. And he's just looking at me what in the fuck? So that was probably a fun car ride home.
Oh my
jeez.
god.
But another person,
Poor
yeah,
Uber.
tears.
Poor
There's
Uber.
only been a few people that have cried.
Okay, yeah.
But a lot of people, it's just it's just weird. Even if it's obvious, they're just no, how could this happen?
Yeah.
That's,
And I'm
yeah.
like, what?
All right,
Yeah.
can you fire me right now?
Right now?
Yeah. How would you do
How
it?
would you
What would
fire
you
me?
say? if
Again,
Nate
this
was-
is so particular.
So let's
to
say
what-
let's
to,
say
what
Nate
they
yeah,
did.
did
set,
this.
help set me up.
Let's say okay.
Let me-
So
alright,
Nate
alright.
works in your kitchen. Nate
Yeah.
works in your kitchen,
Okay.
and you found out he's
I've been eating the food that I shouldn't be eating.
yeah, and he's
without gloves.
and he
Without
sometimes
gloves.
spits on
Without
the
gloves.
and he sometimes
And
spits on the pizza.
I spit on the pizza.
He's
Oh,
got
if you
poor
spit on a
hygiene
pizza,
when he
I would
comes
look
in
at
every
you
day.
and say,
I come
hey,
in-
get the fuck out. I would get mad.
Immediately?
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
All right, here we go.
Imme-
Ready,
Like
ready,
if
ready?
you walked in the
I'm making
kitchen,
a pizza.
he spits on. You see him
Okay,
spitting on the
all right.
pizza.
Hey, man, I'm going to have you clock out right now. I'll get you your final paycheck in 48 hours.
Wait. What do you mean?
What do you just spat on the food?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Clock out.
What
Bye.
do you
See
mean?
later.
Clock out by
What do
man?
you mean? What do you mean?
I need this
leave
job.
now?
I'm in sober
We
living.
all need to work, but people don't need spit in their pizza. All right, come on. Yeah, we'll go outside, and then I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. I'll give him the time of the day.
And then
Yeah,
they-
okay, and now everyone's walking up and looking. Yeah. So he spat in the food. I would actually just say,
Hey, you spat in the food. I'm not the asshole here. He is.
Yeah,
That's pretty
It's on
damn-
camera.
That's
That was
impressive.
good.
I felt that.
I
honestly-
would have run. I think.
I felt.
I felt like
Well-
the second employee there is like, well, I'll eat the pizza if no one else.
Yeah. Just give it to the dishwasher.
Yeah.
No, like
We share
I'm not
food
going to be a
portion pretty
savage unless someone's being a savage to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But if
So
someone
it's a
if someone
savage-
fucks with you and fucks with the place, like you will fucking lay into
Oh,
them.
immediately, yeah. But
Yeah.
most people don't. It's not, it's
Yeah.
not really. I mean, it's been like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we had this other lady she was like in her 40s. She was super experienced, which I kind of fucking hate now. Is if people have too much experience, they just come in there. Oh yeah, it's your show, and you run it. Never the case ever. They always come in and try and change shit. And the day I had to fire her was we had investors in town, and she had this idea of us portioning out every single ingredient that we have in the restaurant catered to one pizza. Not to mention, we sell 3 styles of pizza. They're 4 different sizes because the Detroit has two sizes. No. And she was like, oh, I've worked in a 5-star. I was like, that's great. We're not doing that crazy shit. Well, what if someone has like an onion allergy and then you're going to get sued? I'm like, sue me. What are you talking about? I just fucking portion out every single ingredient for every single pizza. No way. So she's saying that in front of these investors, and these guys are like super fucking cool. They're the Hunt brothers, Zane Hunt, Brandon Hunt,
Shout
Via
out.
313,
Big shouts.
Via 313 in Austin, Texas. They run a fucking badass Detroit style out there. But anyway, yeah, those dudes, like, they're no bullshit. I love them. They know how to run a business. So she's talking out her ass to them, and I immediately was like, there's no way this is going to work. This is the first week. This is literally her first week there, and she's already like arguing with the investors because Zane looked at her and he was like, so no pizzeria ever does that. So like, sorry, what are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah, like almost verbatim. And she was just like, well, yeah, at the place that I worked at. So then I was like, we're done now. So the next day she came in, I fired her, and we have a sheet that says I have to put, if it's in a certain amount of time, like the probationary period, I have to put does not meet a company standard. Unless it's something like, misconduct, something like that. But if it's simply just like, I don't want this person working here, it's nothing crazy, I just don't want them here, I have to put does not meet the standard. And she was like, well, I'm not signing that. So I was like, cool. And circled the refuse to sign. And I was like, okay.
Done
Like,
here.
you don't have to sign it. Like, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
She started being a bitch. Like, then I'll be a dick. If you're a bitch, I'm going to be a dick.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah.
That's just how it
That's
is.
fair, yeah.
But I won't right up until I have to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No,
And then she was like, oh, well, say la vie, and then like walked out with her
She said
little
"C'est la
paper.
vie."
She said that.
Oh,
She said
God.
say la vie, and I was like,
Oh,
best
God.
decision I've ever made. Fuck her.
Oh god.
Yeah, her name is by the way. Fuck her.
That's
Let us know if you want us to cut that out
No,
later.
she
but
deserves
yeah.
it. She deserves it because then the other drunk girl, that's like, okay, you know what? You're going through shit. Okay?
Yeah.
So like there was part of me where I was like,
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a human being.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry
still
that
have-
this is happening to you. It's fucking hilarious now.
Right.
But I'm
But,
sorry that
yeah,
this is happening
At that
to
time, it was very sad.
Fuck your refuse to sign. Fuck your say la vie.
Fuck
you.
your say
Yeah.
la vie.
Go
Fuck
run your
you.
own fucking pizzeria.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna take a break right now.
Yeah, perfect.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
But, yeah.
Love breaks.
We're gonna stop with pizza. Move to music. Move back to your past.
Right.
On
Yeah.
the next half
We got
of
sidetracked with fuck.
All right.
like everyone has certain tendencies with what they're playing, and breaking out of that is what makes you have your own style. And listening to a lot of different music, and particularly in rock and metal music, it's so easy to just play like the thing. Like everyone knows, oh, here comes like that fill that I've heard fucking
So like your
50
style,
times.
your soul, or like
Yeah.
the part that's you.
Yeah.
That's different. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, how can I have my own style? Because that would be cooler,
I love that.
you know?
We're back with the Chismoso podcast. We've
Are
been
we
here
rolling
with
now?
Mike
We're going.
Mahan.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna ask Nate.
Here's
'cause
the
when-
Chismoso for today. Steve won't shut the fuck up.
Anyway.
What do you think of the name, by the way? Are you a fan of the name Chismoso?
Our podcast.
All right, here's the deal.
That's a setup to a no.
No. This is going to be super underwhelming. I don't know why I made it seem like a big deal.
All right.
I'm just a caveman and don't even know what that is.
Oh, it just means gossip in Spanish.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because I'm full Spanish.
All right.
So I
Exactly.
should know that.
Okay, so we didn't
Italian.
know what
Yeah.
the word meant before.
Yeah, we didn't know what
But
it
But
we
now
just-
that I know, what does it mean again? I already forgot.
Gossip.
Oh, gossip. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
We
Yeah.
just kept saying it because we thought we were very fucked up one time.
Yeah.
And at one point we were doing accents to each other, and without really thinking
I'm
about
sure
it, I
you're
heard
fuck that.
the word
See
before.
you guys.
I heard the word before, and then I was like, I just said it to Nate one time. I was like,
Chismoso.
okay, Chismoso, and then Nate started dying, and then we called each other
Dying.
Chismoso for the longest
Yeah, so-
time.
Oh, it's fucking great.
So now we-
I love it even more now.
Yeah, we
Right.
call
Yeah.
each other gossip. which is
We call
kinda
each other,
funny.
but like Chismoso like has so many meanings for us now.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
us it means so much more than gossip. It's
Yeah.
just like
Totally.
big dog.
Si se puede, chismosos.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, Easy. See, I'm speaking Spanish,
Oh man.
not at work.
All right. Let's talk about the music. Let's get to the nitty gritty.
Let's get back to that.
Let me get deep,
Yep.
deep in your mind, man.
Yep.
We were
Okay.
talking about that shitty worker you had, and she was talking about beautiful signatures. Let's talk about the signatures of the instruments in Parma. Let's start there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a
What
weird
a-
connection. for
Yes.
Wow, that was like
No,
that
that
was
was-
a very that was
was
a
a
play
great
on
segue.
words.
Let's
Well-
talk about the signatures on the pieces you have. Let's
On
talk about
the
the
wall.
pieces and the signatures and the wall and all of it.
Yeah. So,
And your
well, that's
father.
kind of our identity at Parma is, music,
Right.
and it's like that's the whole environment there. You see a bunch of guitars up on the wall, and drum heads. A lot of musicians live out here.
yeah.
So the main ones that have floated through are Lenny Castro from Toto. He's a percussionist. Played with a bunch of other people too, like Fleetwood Mac, just monster of a musician. Dean DeLeo, Stone Temple Pilots, who actually, this is like, I don't like to brag, but this is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. He came into the restaurant and was like, "Oh, you're in a band? Like, I'll check you out." I was like, "Yeah, right. But here's the name and like here's the album." He fucking bought the album and then called the restaurant. Is like, "Can I speak to Mike?" And I'm like, "Cool, here we go." Who's like fucking gonna yell at me now? Yeah, my
Right.
pizza's burnt, all this shit. And then it was Dean from fucking Stone Temple Pilots, and he was like, "Hey, Mike, like your album's great, man. Like you're a fucking great drummer." And I was like, "Excuse me?" Like I'm getting
Wow.
goosebumps now just thinking
Yeah,
about it.
right.
Just having
That's
so
somebody
dope.
like, because I listened to Stone Temple Pilots growing up.
Yeah, totally.
So to have somebody just like he fucking called the restaurant
At
just
work.
to tell me.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's
So like
amazing.
I'm not even bragging about. I'm more geeking out about.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
than
no,
bragging
no,
about
dude,
it.
that, yeah, I
It
don't
was
think you're
fucking
bragging.
awesome. But he comes in there a lot, and he's probably going to be at the Agora location. So if any of you want to stalk him, you can find Dean DeLeo outside Parma too in a couple months when we open, allegedly. Thank you, LA County, for delaying everything.
Ugh.
That's awesome. But yeah, we have a pizza called the Bissonette, which is like our most popular pizza. And Greg Bissonette is a hugely, very successful, well-known drummer. He does everything. Like he's played with a bunch of really good bands. He's a session guy. He teaches. He's amazing. If you don't know him, Google him. Greg Bissonette. If you need help spelling, I'm not even gonna try. Just look at Parma Pizzeria and find the pizza, the Bissonette. But yeah, so those are some of the big guys that have come in, and many more too.
Yeah, you have
They all just
some-
float in. But the signatures on the wall, it's only if you've played on a top 100 album.
Okay.
That's kind of like the rule.
Okay.
And one time we had some drunk people from See Me, of course. Fucking See Me. This whole group of people, this drunk girl like started signing the wall. She's like, "More beer, please." And we're like,
No.
"The
are you
fuck are
doing?
you?
No.
What?"
No.
And then we had to put our cute little wall signatures upon request only
Yeah.
right there.
Damn.
But yeah, that's what the signatures are. Top
There's
100.
always a sign for some idiot. You know, some idiot had to do something first, and then now we have to
Right.
put a fucking sign there.
Yeah, we had to
Like,
paint over it. Yeah,
Bummer.
we had to paint over her stupid fucking more beer, please. Like, go to fucking Tipsy Goat and do that right down the street. Don't do that at our place.
That is so annoying. That is.
Yeah,
That's also just such a like.
because also
I
just buy
deserve
more
this.
beer. Don't write it on a
yeah.
wall.
Totally.
Unless other people do that too, but she didn't know. She's fucking drunk. Whatever. I'm way too upset about this still. This was 4 years ago. This is 4 fucking years ago. I'm still, and I
Open the
remember this
can.
so vividly. She was
Open the
blonde,
can.
straight hair, fucking backwards hat from Simi.
did not
I
wanna
knew they were
open
from
this
Simi.
can. I did not want to open this.
I
can. I'm
love
sorry.
watching him
I'm
get
sorry.
emotional about his manager.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
like really fun.
That's so funny.
It's like I think about like every like poor manager that I've worked for, and I'm like upset in some way. Like, they have
well,
a
yeah.
hard
It's
life.
like I never try and bring that to the business with the employees or the customers, right? But if you're fucking, this is what I do with everything. I just, you feel that way? Cool. Don't do that.
press
Yeah,
it.
just hide that shit, and then
But
every
do,
now and
so
then
do you
I'll,
feel
I'll
like
blow
when
up.
you're drumming, do you feel like it's
Oh,
like
it's
like
Yeah, you
it's
must
like
take
beyond
it.
meditation. It's like therapy.
when I'm drumming, that is literally the only time that I'm like at peace with everything. Like that sounds really cliche, but
Yeah.
like that's the only time I'm not
No, I feel
my
that.
own
No,
shit's not
that's-
getting
And when
in the
is
way.
it when you like
When I'm
achieve some
upset
sort of
about
like
it.
flow state? Would
Yeah.
you say?
Well, I'm chasing that.
Yeah,
I'm definitely
You're
that's what
chasing
you chase,
the
right? Is
desolation.
fucking
that.
fuck. All right, I'll see you guys later. Yeah, fuck. You're so right. All right, I'm changing the band name.
Change the band.
He's right. I'm changing the fucking name. But no, it's like hitting that flow state is a huge part of, doing anything
Oh,
really.
totally, dude.
Even if you're an
Absolutely.
athlete, if you guys are on stage, fucking
Yeah,
slinging
absolutely.
jokes, like
Yeah.
if you overthink things, people can see right through that shit.
Yeah.
But what's
And-
what's the main emotion you feel when you're drumming? Would you say, or does it vary depending?
It's just mainly focus.
But like if there was like if do you feel like there's like you get angry or you get like
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
if
Like-
I'm angry, it's great because if I fuck something up, I'll just be like fuck, and then boom, I'll hit it,
then
and I
it's
just like I feel like a fucking child.
Yeah.
Because
That's
don't
funny.
do that.
Totally.
But I do it sometimes when I like if I'm having a bad day and then like even my practice, I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm so bad. I'll just hit shit and I'm like, it's okay though.
yeah, totally.
Because like I'm a thrower sometimes. Like if I get mad, which is very rare, like I really try not to let myself ever get like super worked up most of the time.
Yeah.
Because again, doing this
Suppress,
shit.
Yeah.
But when it happens, like I guess I'm a thrower. Yeah.
Throw shit.
I'm not a wall puncher. Like fucking
what's
break
your-
my
what's
hand.
like your
I'm a wall puncher.
But I'm just like
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
what's
More
your
like the
preferred
wall-
object to
more like
throw?
steering wheel.
I'm a puncher too.
Oh, whatever's
actually, I
around.
think.
Just anything?
yeah, like I don't know.
But like, would you ideally be something that like could break? Like,
oh yeah, because you want the satisfaction.
you
Yeah.
need,
Yeah.
you
Right.
need that.
The
If
one
you're
time I
a
threw something that didn't break was my car keys.
mm.
Do you throw?
Well, it fucked the wall up. So
do you
actually,
throw at someone or something?
No,
it's just
no.
into the abyss, into the ether.
no, because I'm not trying to like hurt someone.
Yeah.
But I need to.
It's just an
release my
expression
anger.
of it's a
Yeah, oh
release.
fuck this thing, and then like
Yeah.
you're in front of me, so fuck you. But I'm not gonna throw something at you
Right.
unless you do something like
Do
crazy.
you ever just like this happens to me a lot when I throw something and it breaks me? I'm like, like, it's always
Oh
immediately.
yeah, I broken a TV
Oh,
over a
fuck.
video game.
Over a
So
video game.
I'm retired from video games. Like
Were
I
you a big gamer growing up?
no, but because I have a problem. Like I get really frustrated and competitive with myself.
You are very competitive.
Yeah, totally. So one time I was playing it was fucking the UFC game, like the fighting. And I was drunk, of course, in high school, just hookah on the table. And it was like towards it. Yeah.
I was
Cole,
like it.
Cole dropped earlier in the day. Fucking the spot's still there at my dad's house. Sorry, Dad.
This is probably what year would you?
He's
guess?
on tour.
What year would you guess this is?
Me throwing the
Yeah. Trying to estimate.
I got
Just-
out of high
really
school
wanna-
in 2013. 2013.
Oh,
No, I was 18. I was too old.
Okay, so
I was
senior
way
year.
too
So
old
this
to
is
get
like
mad about it.
2013. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You're like a
Wait. Oh, so
sophomore,
you were like a fucking
freshman.
baby, right? No, I was out of high school, already like a shift supervisor at fucking Starbucks, throwing.
Like this
shit.
could have you could have been trial as an adult for like vandalism in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Fucking.
Of-
I'm so dumb.
So
Like I can't. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to eliminate most things. Like, dude, just play drums and then work. Just don't do anything else.
gotcha.
So I lost the game like too many times in a row. You
So
know,
you threw the controller at the TV?
I threw the remote. It was the little fucking remote I threw it and didn't mean to hit the TV. It bounced off the arm of the couch that was, I'm sitting on this couch. There's one over here. I fucking threw it. It bounced off of that, went right in the fucking bottom right corner of this 60-inch TV. And yeah, everyone was like, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. I don't even give a fuck. I don't even care. I was so drunk, and I was like, I played the whole, I don't give a fuck.
You cared.
And then, no, I literally didn't until like the next day.
Yeah,
and I was
right.
like, well, now I have to pay. No, but that's how bad it was.
Your dad
I didn't
pissed?
even do it and then be like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, fuck it. It's fine. And then the next day was like,
did you tell
oh,
him?
so shout out to one of his very good friends and pretty much my aunt, Jamil. Jamil Alamard. I literally fucking called her and was like, hey, this happened. I accidentally broke the TV. I made some bullshit story. I don't even remember what the story was. I accidentally broke the TV and either way, my dad's just gonna get so mad because he would just get mad about anything. Anytime he
Sure.
went on tour, he'd
Yeah.
come back and be like,
And he knew that you
why
were
is this
fucking shit
covered
up. Yeah.
like this now? And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what, you're making shit up. Like, I'm not.
I remember
Fucking-
that because we used to party when your dad was
Yeah.
like once or twice. Like
We did used to
And you were
party, and
always
now
like-
looking back on it, he's probably right. But also sometimes he wasn't. I remember one time, which is like, this is probably the biggest fight I ever got into with my dad. I came home, I went and got a sports massage because I just had really bad pain.
Right.
And I get home, I'm all relaxed. And then I come in, and this was back when I was still living with him. And he's like, so what's going on with the sound system? Yeah, that's that's my dad. Hi, Dad. And I fucking walk in, and he's like, he was fucking with wires behind his surround sound. And I was like, what? I don't know what happened. You think I'm back there rewiring your fucking surround sound that you use twice a year? Fucking what? And then I just started getting really fucking agitated. I was like, dude, I'm chilling right now, and you're just
sports massage.
yeah, I just got a sports massage. I don't need your wire bullshit. And then he threw a box of pasta, kind of like what I do,
No, you
not
throw.
at
You
me,
got it
but
from your
Yeah.
near me. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, and it was over. I fucking started screaming at him. I moved out shortly after that. I was like, this is, oh yeah, I was like, this is the end.
This is like a chain reaction.
Well, we
kind of
almost
thing.
fought. We were face to face, and I remember he
Holy
was like,
shit.
"Don't do it."
Was this like the
because
most
he thought I
heated
was gonna
y'all have ever
fucking.
been?
What's that?
Was this the most heated y'all?
Oh,
have ever
easily.
Been?
Yeah. That's why I'm telling this story. It's very significant. I was like, this is before, way before the restaurant was open. I was so fucking mad because I was just like, I literally at that time didn't do anything to provoke that,
Yeah.
Right.
and love my dad to death. He's amazing. We do, after all that stuff, have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
He's super cool. We run a business together.
Uh-huh.
He's awesome. But sometimes it's those moments that change shit
Yeah.
Yeah.
after that, and that was for sure one. He threw this most Italian shit, a box of
you threw a
pasta,
box of pasta.
Hey, get the fuck outta
fucking
here.
Barilla Rotini, which also happens to be my favorite kind of pasta
Oh,
great.
so that's fucking perfect.
because it's got the little
Poetic.
ridges, so you
Poetic.
can get
Yeah.
a few of them on the fork. This is kind of a controversial subject because I tell my buddy Joey, he's like, "You what Rotini? What? There's so many other
I think
fucking good
Rotini's
pastas."
good. I'm a linguine guy. I like the thin.
Okay,
I like
just
the
like
Big
the-
ratatouille guy, huh?
Yeah, I like.
I just like the
yeah.
name,
You know?
linguine.
it does sound better than Rotini.
The roti-
You got,
Yeah.
Have you seen Ratatouille?
Yeah.
They got his name's Linguini, right?
That's why I
Yeah.
said that, and
Yeah.
then Nate just
Yeah,
ignored
yeah.
my joke. So
It
Oh,
wasn't good.
I'm Mike. I'm gonna bomb on this podcast, which is fine because I'm not a comedian. So
Well,
it's fun.
let's talk more about your dad. So your dad,
Okay.
can we get into this?
Yeah, he's a
Okay.
fucking dick. No, just kidding. I love you, Dad.
His dad is the bassist for Pat Benatar,
Yes.
and which is something that I always made fun of him for growing up. Which
Yeah.
is so mean. It was I wasn't out of malice. I just legitimately
No.
thought it was funny.
It wasn't mean.
Because I would always be I'd always say as him, do you know who I am? My dad's the bassist for Pat
Pat
Benatar.
Benatar.
Which I'm gonna go on record and say I've
He
never
did that.
ever
Yeah,
said
no,
that.
Never used his ass clout.
No.
I would do it because I thought it was funny. Because living in this area, you're always friends with people who are the children of quasi-famous people.
Right, right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh, it's
And you're one of
what
those
did you say?
people.
What famous? What?
Quasi.
Quasi-famous.
Yeah, he
you
is
know, he's-
so
'cause he's
that.
He's not.
He's
famous,
so
but he's
that.
in a famous person.
It's crazy because he
you know.
knows so many successful musicians, and
Right.
so many successful musicians respect him, but the average person's not gonna be like, holy fuck, you're Mick Mahan from
Yeah.
Pat Benatar,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is the funniest part about that. Like,
Yeah.
which is exactly what you're saying.
exactly,
Like,
which
But is that
the-
what
the bit.
is he like that, or does he want
No.
does he like, or would he want to be more in the spotlight in society?
no, I mean, he's the super just charismatic, super friendly. Like, I mean, we definitely have an ego, and he does, but he fucking never shows it ever with people that he's working with like that or musicians. It's not about that at
No.
all.
Yeah.
And he's a bass player. I mean, like
Yeah.
that's like the last guy in the band to get laid.
Do
You
y'all,
know?
do y'all
That's your
ever
sting.
Yeah, right. Well, he's a frontman.
Yeah, that's true.
So there you go.
do y'all ever like jam out together?
Every now and then, yes, but it hasn't happened as much as people would think because we're both just super busy.
too, though. Also, right?
I don't even mind about that. I don't.
Yeah, you jam
That's
anything.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool to me. I want it, if I'm jamming with somebody, I want it to be with like, oh wait, I don't really know what to do here. Let's figure
Yeah,
this out.
That is cool.
Right.
That's more interesting. But no, we run the business, and that's like all we talk about now. Like literally 98% of what we talk about is just the business.
Yeah.
That 2% is like if I'm for some reason off and available to go to his house for dinner or whatever, then it's like for a little bit we'll talk about other shit, and then it always goes, well, we got a great thing here, and you know,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep this going, stay patient, blah blah blah, all the
Yeah,
fucking shit that I tell myself not to freak out all the time.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, we have a good relationship. He's great,
That's great.
but
And-
things have gotten heated over the years, you know.
Yeah.
Sure, it
And
happens.
especially with the business too. There's some times because now it's
Oh,
like he
yeah.
understands that I'm in. I don't want to say more of a powerful position, but he knows that he's not going to be around forever, and
Right.
this is my company just as much as it is his.
Right.
And he knows he's not in there every day. He's hands off. He pays the bills. I'm the one in there running it,
Right.
and it's like he does give me that respect now of like,
That's
okay,
cool, though.
then you're probably right about that, which was
Nice.
tough to develop that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't really know. I didn't go to fucking college. I didn't go to business school.
Right,
I literally
yeah.
just like somehow operate a pizzeria.
Yeah.
Why should he listen to me?
Yeah.
But you
No,
know.
but I think that's kind of what he intended for it. when he
it
did
is.
huh?
Yeah, and he's
He's
fresh off the
passionate for
fucking
Mayhem,
tour bus
though.
for the
Yeah.
past 50 years. He hasn't worked a customer service job since the fucking Great Depression. So like, he doesn't understand what it is, You said we were going to talk about music, right? See, this is what happens. It just it's like my
goes
dad.
back
It
to
just
Are
goes
you
back-
my
it
dad? We're talking about Parma
I
again.
am your dad.
Always with
It
the.
always gets back to Parma.
Always comes back
Always
to
gets back
pizza,
to pizza
man.
with Nate.
With me.
But yeah, why did we start talking about this? Music.
Your
yeah.
dad
You
being
gotta keep
part
it-
of Pat
Oh yeah,
Benatar.
yeah, Pat Benatar.
Influences.
Yeah.
Are you a fan
Auntie
of Pat
Patty.
Benatar?
Oh, she's fucking great.
Right.
Yeah. She
She's
still
awesome.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I bet.
she's
yeah.
not
She's
super
hot.
young either. Yeah. I
She's
mean,
still got, you
there's
see
a
her
lot
as
of-
Auntie Patty. You told me you called
Yeah.
her Auntie Patty growing up.
yeah. I call her Patty.
Yeah.
And
okay,
Pat is like they're a fan or they
Right.
don't know her, but
Yeah,
Pat-
yeah,
she goes
yeah.
back to me. She's Patty.
Right,
And if it's her
yeah.
husband Neil, Patricia, and they argue on stage, and it's fucking amazing. Like, oh, this is so good
That's so rock
that you
and
guys
roll.
have done it this far, and he's just like behind the piano, like Patricia. It's fucking, I love it. And she just doesn't even fucking do it. She'll just stand there with her mic and just fucking shake her head and just like listen to it. Yeah, well, that's that's not that's what you think. And it's just fucking like, oh, this is real love. This is it.
It is.
This is real love. It's
Yeah.
just that you've been together way too long, but it's okay because it makes sense, and that's what a lot of people
That's
strive for.
beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah, and they still kill it.
That's
They
so
go up
fun.
on stage and kill it.
Where do they tour now?
Still like
That's-
mainly U.S.
yeah, I
Just-
see.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
up
They've
doing a
done
world tour.
outside country stuff, but not for a while.
Yeah.
They've slowed down a lot over the years, obviously.
Obviously.
But so like at this point, my dad's like, well, I think this is gonna be the last tour, and I'm like, fucking bullshit. You've been saying that for 15 years.
I always
Yeah.
say that about bands and everything. It's like for the last time ever, and it's like
Yeah,
nah, dude.
and then even the
Nah,
the
dude.
last tour is like, oh, this is gonna go on for 4 years. Like
Yeah.
this is our reunion tour that we've been on.
Totally.
Uh-huh.
But no, I don't really think they're even close to that. They just kind of play every summer. That's like
Yeah.
the guarantee, and then also in the winter, and they just book shorter legs than they used to.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. That's great though, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's ideal. Right.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, I can imagine. I don't know yet because I
Yeah.
haven't been on like a huge tour, which
You've
I'd
been
love
on
to.
you
But
toured before.
I've toured with him. Like that's. I
Yeah.
grew up on tour, which is
Yeah.
probably
Uh-huh.
why I want to do it.
I was gonna say, so how did your dad heavily influence your musical taste?
Yeah, in the beginning, And then when I started listening to metal, he's still like, really? You like that? Okay. But it's mostly been, I grew up with classic rock.
Classic rock.
Yeah,
When
so
did you
I've
when did you
always
get
had a
into
love for
metal?
rock. Metal? When everything in my life started sucking.
What was your intro to metal? Like what bands?
Bands? So this is actually kind of a funny story too. I'm thirsty as shit, so
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
on.
sit-
This is going to
sit-
be the best story you've ever heard.
All right, ready?
All right,
Yeah.
ready?
I sounded like Trump. This will be the best story you've ever heard. The greatest story. Never been a better story. No, when my parents got divorced, my mom moved out into these apartments and actually ended up having somebody that was one of my dad's bass students move in. 11-year-old me was like, oh, cool, this guy's moving in. 26-year-old me is like, that guy was a drug addict. So, like, totally didn't know what was going on. But I knew it was kind of weird because he would be, like, pretty fucking, like, mentally abusive with my mom. And I was like, what is happening? But I had this weird relationship with him where I was like, I don't know what that's all about because he exposed me to so much shit from, like, 11, 12 to 13 probably. He was around for a couple of years. And it was like, here's all of my movies they can be violent, fucking rated whatever it is, or go nuts, watch whatever you want. Here's all of my music. And I had it on this Microsoft thing. I forget what the actual music app was called, but I would like rip or burn discs or whatever in there and like, pull all his music off. So some of the bands on there were Tool is a big one, Pantera, yeah. Stone Temple Pilots, even more Red Hot Chili Peppers, just stuff, a bunch of new stuff, Marilyn Manson, a lot of stuff that was that I had already listened to, but a lot of it was just like brand new to me. Same with System of a Down too.
So it's
a
like,
lot of the music that I still listen to came from
Do you
that.
think because you were going through a traumatic experience, living in that situation, not knowing that it was traumatic though, that
Yeah.
it's been ingrained? That's why it was ingrained so much. Also,
Yeah.
my age too.
Well, it's weird because he was one of the most, arguably the most negative person in my life,
Right.
and has also influenced me the most,
yeah,
which is an extremely weird
it's
thing.
weird. Yeah, that is
Because shit got really dark, which
Right.
I'm not going to go into detail
Yeah,
about that
yeah,
stuff,
of course,
but
yeah.
shit got really dark, and that's when I was like, damn. And like even talking to my mom about it now, I'm like, holy fuck, that's gnarly.
Yeah.
And even she has a weird feeling about how much I connected to what he exposed me to
Yeah.
at the time. But that shaped who I was, because I was telling you on our break, I was like, I didn't really have that many friends around that time in my life. I was like constantly changing schools, and then the parents get divorced. I'm okay, new school. I didn't stay anywhere for more than, a couple of years until I was at high school. And I actually stayed there for the whole time. But everything else, it was like I was always a new kid. My friends weren't actually my friends. So I relied on music to figure out what the fuck I was feeling about anything. And I still do that.
Yeah.
That's still like not my defense mechanism, but the way my coping mechanism.
Yeah.
I rely on music to just like, oh, how do I can't process how I feel unless I'm like immersing myself in music that I connect with. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Which is why I forget
feel like-
everything, because all the time in normal life, I'm like, okay, cool. And then like,
Right.
unless it's something super, super on the forefront, my brain is just like too jumbled with a bunch of shit.
Totally.
I would talk about that
Weird.
with Nathaniel sometimes, because he's like, music is almost like my language sometimes. You know what I mean?
yeah, there's like days I will like. There's days where I've probably not spoken a single word, but I've like played piano for like
Yeah.
8 hours and stuff. So it's sort of like,
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had enough time to play drums that long, but even just listening to music, it's like, for me, it's like there's nothing better than just fucking smoking a bowl
Yeah.
alone and
Totally,
just
yeah.
literally like put headphones on or whatever it is, just almost like meditating.
How do you like? What's your I guess like what are some current stuff that you're listening to like heavily, and are you someone who like you like to bounce from like song to song, or do you like to listen to like albums? Like what's your preferred kind of way of listening to music?
I did the album thing for so long to where now it's a little bit more, because I was talking earlier about trying to open my mind to more music. A lot of the music that I've opened my mind to, or opened my mind up to, has been stuff that I usually wouldn't like love the whole album. So I'll run like my liked songs on Spotify and just kind of like jam those 10 or 15 new songs that I just found in no particular order, whatever I'm feeling, and then also throw that in with like, oh, okay, I'm gonna listen to shit that I know I like too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all over the place.
So what are
Um,
what are some current stuff you've been into?
I'm just gonna look because I forget everything, so I don't even know what I listen to.
Yeah, I fucking hate when people ask me like, "What have you been listening to lately?" And I'm like, "It changes every fucking week." You know?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I'm
yeah.
never
I feel like
not
that
listening
too.
to my favorite band Gojira. Never not. I've recently kind of gotten into Ghost, which I didn't
Wait,
get.
Ghost DC or like
No, AC.
or AC? Is that what it?
No,
Fuck
no,
off. I was like,
AC/DC.
wait, yeah.
Yeah. It's
No,
AD
no.
too. I know that.
Is
Don't
it-
worry.
Wait, is it because there's two ghosts, right?
I don't fucking
They're
know.
the one with the mask.
All I know is the
this one
dude.
with the mask who
Yeah, the
dresses
dude
as a
looks
pope?
crazy, but
Yeah,
it's
okay.
not. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
Kiss,
I-
but way cooler.
I was really about to say they're like Kiss. Yeah, they've got a Kiss
Yeah,
sound.
and I don't
yeah.
give a fuck about
Or
Kiss, but
Queen.
Ghost.
They're kind of like Queen too a little bit, but not as
Yeah,
opera-y,
some of their
but
stuff.
like yeah.
No, not quite, but they're
Yeah.
they're cinematic and they
Right.
have a whole
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
look, and they
Totally.
look
I
so
fuck
much
with that.
more gnarly than they are. But I'm like, what? But again, that would have
Yeah.
been a thing. That was the thing that turned me off from them. I'm like, wow, that's just. And now I'm like,
Right.
no, shut the fuck up and listen,
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter what they look like.
No, they're
Yeah.
sick.
What are you
Ghost is
hearing
sick.
and feeling?
Yeah.
So some of their stuff. Bad Omens is another like really random band that I like.
Really.
They're kind of like poppy, like metalcore went pop, and it's just like, why do I like this and how? But I do,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
Dope.
Never not listening to Meshuggah.
Of course.
Never not listening to Tool.
Of course.
I'll give you one more, so we're not here forever. This band called Refused that I just totally missed out on. They're like an early, kind of like hardcore band before that whole thing happened. It was like right before, like punk and hardcore. They had a big song called New Noise. If anyone decides to listen to that, you probably heard it if you played like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, stuff like that.
Okay.
I think I know that song.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah, you might. Like if you
Yeah.
listen to it, it's within 10 seconds. You're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I
that's
forgot
the
about
one.
that.
Yeah.
So I recently found out about them and was like, how did I miss this?
Yeah. That's the best.
Yeah.
I actually love that. When I'm like, oh my god, this was totally around while I was listening to this band.
Yeah.
Right,
like
yeah.
what? How did I miss out on
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's
But yeah, hopefully that's in my most recent.
That's
That
that's
happens all the time with Nathaniel, specifically when like Nathaniel starts playing something. I'm like, "What is this song? I know this song from of old."
Totally.
Yeah,
Like a
but,
song or like on
like-
piano?
like
Like
well,
a
that
song.
too. Like
Yeah,
sometimes.
both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most-
most
most-
honestly, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool, man. It's because then that's fucking awesome. Is having a song like from a musician standpoint, having someone listen to a song and then having another person be like, "Whoa, what is that?" and then liking that.
Do,
Totally.
do you have
That's like crazy.
Sharing music. Is
Do you
a
have any like
powerful thing, and I
like
love
what
that.
do you have any like guilty pleasure genres or like what's like
Yeah.
what's the stuff you're into that like people would not expect you to be into?
Definitely The Neighborhood.
I
I fucking love The Neighborhood. And I don't give a shit.
They're from
They are.
Woodbury, yeah.
They are, but even if they weren't, like,
No,
fucking
no, of
whatever.
course not,
But
no,
it's just
yeah,
funny
yeah.
because their singer, who's like super, super pop now and just totally weird, they do whatever they want and don't give a fuck
That's
about what
cool.
anyone thinks. I love that. But it is like super poppy, and he used to be a screamer, I'm pretty sure. In his early days. It's just funny that he went so far the other side. And like also Tame Impala. I don't look like I listen to fucking Tame Impala. I look like what I mostly listen to, you know, but there's this band called Joywave too.
Oh yeah. I love Joey Way.
Yeah, I was like, I heard some of their
Yeah,
stuff recently. I
they're
was like,
cool.
cool. So I do like some indie music. That's kind of where I branch out.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that, and I don't really give a fuck about jazz.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know I should.
I
But
recently
I
got
just,
super into it.
some of it. Yeah. Yeah, but I was just like, I wouldn't do shit.
What
My
about
teacher.
what about like classical, like orchestra kind of?
I can totally appreciate it, but I'm never like, I'm gonna listen to this
Yeah, yeah.
movement
We'll
9.
bump this in the
from-
car.
Totally.
No. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, a lot of indie stuff, I guess, is what people wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
And then rap too. I'm very picky, but
Who's
I
your
do
favorite
like some.
rapper?
I do like some rap. Favorite rapper,
You have one.
Immortal Technique,
Oh fuck.
which is
yeah.
funny.
Alright,
Which is
yeah,
funny
that is
because I'm not.
That is the metal of rap.
Yeah, that is the metal
Oh yeah, I just love his fucking attitude, man.
Yeah.
The way he spits, and I also love that he's not that good at freestyling, and he admits he owns it. He's like,
Yeah.
I write lyrics that fucking stick with people, and I'm like, that's so cool to me.
You
Yeah.
don't have to be a good freestyler to be a good rapper. And I feel
Yeah,
like
it doesn't
that's a
matter.
misconception that a lot of people.
It's like with drums, like you don't have to be just because you can shred doesn't mean you're good.
And he's like such a storyteller, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
his
man.
songs have such fucking like imagery and like
Dude, yeah,
it's like,
that guy
he's
like
just an author, you know?
I'll listen to him and be like, holy fuck! Like no matter how many times
Yeah.
I listen to him, he blows my mind every time. So he's easily my
Seriously.
favorite rapper. Joey Badass is another really cool one. He can just
Yeah.
fucking say whatever he wants at all times, like freestyle like crazy, and really appreciate him. J. Cole's awesome too. He's more like R&B, I think, for a rapper,
he's
right?
A rapper. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still a rapper, but yeah, his beats. Yeah, I would
So
say
that's
he's
maybe
good.
someone else that you wouldn't expect
Love
I'd
J.
listen
Cole.
to.
Love J.
I
Cole.
love
Yeah,
J. Cole.
dude, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Those are a few things.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
love Wu-Tang Clan too. Fucking-
Yeah.
that's
Nice.
classic
That's
though.
classic.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, Wu-Tang.
Do you like that old stuff, like the Far Side?
Oh yeah, and like Nas and shit.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
like Tribe? Tribe Called
Tribe
Quest?
You like Tribe?
You know, they have a song. Can
I
we?
Kick It?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, so that's an example right there.
Have you heard of this? They showed me
Where
this
I'm like,
one
I don't get that
recently,
one.
Actually, have you heard of this band? This like rap group called People Under
Oh,
the
that's my
Stairs?
favorite.
It's-
No, no, I
you
haven't.
should check them out.
I'll
if you're
send 'em
into-
People that you send them.
People
Yeah.
under the
Yeah.
stairs. Yeah,
Cool.
you would fuck with them. I think.
Okay.
I think so too.
Oh,
yeah.
Outcast too.
Dude, I convinced my dad once in Hebrew school that Anne Frank was coming to speak. He didn't realize that she had died in the Holocaust. So he gets there and he's like, "Where's Anne Frank?"
Your dad's Russian, right?
Yeah.
Good thing she wasn't Ukrainian.
Yeah.
He would have fucking.
Oh,
He would've blown up on her.
It was so embarrassing for him too, because they were like, "Yeah, Anne Frank's dead, you idiot!" Like,
Yeah, how do you not know? I don't.
That's why
I
the
didn't pay
journal
attention to
stops.
shit in high
Yeah,
school.
that's why. Yeah, you didn't get part 2 of
You
Anne
didn't get
Frank's
part-
diary. You didn't get a prologue of the memoir.
Yeah, that's like
It's
I didn't give a fuck about history at all. Like I don't remember anything.
God.
I remember really weird shit. Like one time, we're gonna talk about Parma again for a second. This
God damn
this
it.
old guy came in. This old guy came in. And he was wearing a shirt with an old, like a political figure on it, and he was like, "I'll give you $10 if you can guess who this guy is." And I was like, "Ulysses S. Grant," and he's like, "Jesus, all right, here you go." And I don't know. I don't even know what fucking number. Was he president? I don't know. I don't fucking know this guy, but I was just like, I know that's the guy. And he tried to fucking.
Did he give you $10?
He did. Yeah, he was like, and I was like, dude, I don't. No, it's fine. I said, put it in the tip jar. Which I regret that because I don't make tips. I'm a manager. I should have gotten that $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
man.
won.
Yeah, but
won.
instead I
You
gave
won
it to
that.
my
How often
wonderful
do you
employees.
win?
They're fucking never,
Yeah,
dude. That's
exactly.
why I throw
You won.
remotes at TVs. I don't win. Yeah,
I didn't
but no,
win.
it felt great.
What
And
would you say has been your biggest win though? If you had to like sum it all
biggest
up.
win of
biggest
like?
win of life. Where you're like,
Other than being here now.
Oh God, we keep going back. Parma.
yeah.
Yeah. No, and the
Parma's-
the reason is like it depends on what you get stoked on winning. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm winning with the pizzeria because my dad did this crazy thing. None of us knew that we would last through this shit, and now it's an opportunity for. If we keep expanding the business, I could have like millions and millions of dollars just because of this business. And like that can be my passive fucking income one day.
Yeah,
Like not that far away from now, like within 10 years, you know?
totally.
So that's the biggest win. But also on the music side, the biggest win was just getting an instrument when I was really young and starting early.
Totally.
Because you see it a lot in music or athletes too. I mean, most things. If you don't start really, really young, the longer you wait, the harder it is to really understand what's going on with that, you know? And there's even with athletes too, like there's just a certain point where you're like, I'm sorry, like no matter how good you are right now in your 30s or whatever, you're not going to be able to do this at a professional level and things like that. So,
Right.
but with music, I'm not saying that's the same. Like music's whatever you want it to be. You can play that no matter how old you are. It's never too late to start, but there are certain things where it's like, okay, if you're in your 60s, like you're probably not going to be in the next fucking huge band, right? That's the reality. So that's my other win is just having a drum set when I was too young to understand how cool I was.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah, man.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful, actually.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
See, I
I
can be beautiful sometimes.
Beautiful. That was amazing.
And then I'm over here like, oh, Dan Frank, fucking
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Fuck it.
yeah, fuck. I got so
Do we want
aggressive.
to try to give us a little beat?
Yeah,
Is
before,
there-
yeah. As we sign off,
yeah. Can you give
where
us?
can we find you? First, let's do your tags, and then you're gonna drum us.
Okay. Yeah, I'll drum you out. My tags, Mike Mayhem Drums on Instagram. That's like the only social media that I
Follow
really
him.
use. Mike Mayhem, like the word, Mayhem, not my last name. That's why I have that name, Mike Mayhem, is because no one can say my last name the right way. Yeah, it's not that easy, dude. Everyone else is like Mahan and Mahan. So I was like, fucking Mike Mayhem, dude. It's cooler.
It's cooler.
Yeah, it's cooler. But it sucks because I'm the only guy in the band that has a different name, so not like a douche. But it's all good.
But you've had that name forever.
Yeah. Shout out to Tom Young. He's the guy who I was in concert band with who started calling me like, hey, Mikey Mayhem. And I was like, what? That's like way cooler than my real name. And then it got back to the band and they're like, oh, that's your name now. So anyway, plugging my Instagram, Mike Mayhem Drums. I hate Facebook. I'm never on it, but you can.
No one uses Facebook.
Yeah,
Just
fuck
stick
that.
the Instagram plug.
New music video for Maze
Yeah.
of White by Chasing
Yeah.
Desolation.
Follow Chasing Desolation.
Hit
as
up our
well.
Spotify, please. I would love that.
Yeah.
Give us that 0.0007 cents every time you listen to us. We really need it. Thank you, Spotify. And yeah, that's really it, man.
Yeah.
And come see me at Parma.
Get a slice.
Yeah, Parma
Come grab
Pizzeria
a
Napoletana
slice.
in Thousand Oaks.
Drum
What,
us
and
out.
what do you think is, before you drum us out, like, what is the, if you had to recommend one item on the Parma menu, what would you recommend? Like, what do you think is the best?
Fuck.
What's
Well,
your best?
first, before you come in, narrow down whether or not you want thin or thick crust.
Okay.
That, basically,
I want thin.
That can
If I
get
want
people
thin.
divorced. If they don't, I've seen people fucking full blown argue like, no, I don't want that one. Again, true love. But probably, I'd say either Detroit, because not a lot of people know what that is, and it's a pan pizza, sauce on top, cheddar along the edge, fucking amazing. That's a thick crust, and then if you just want classic, just fucking pizza, New York. Yeah, so I give you two options.
Nice.
Either one of those. Am I drumming you out? now?
Drum us
Yeah.
out.
I'm gonna play the Justin Bieber beat that everyone thought was really good.
Chismoso. Chismoso.
Chismoso.
Chismoso. Chismoso.
Chismoso.
Ooh. Chismoso podcast with Mike Mayhem, drumming along and I'm singing the song. Feeling really good. I hit the bong. I don't smoke weed, but I like to pretend. On Chismoso podcast with my best friends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Where can they like? Can they even? You can't like, comment, and subscribe on this.
Where can they? Wait, what? Where are you going?
Dude, Nate signed off. It's done.
Oh, it's on. I was gonna say on Spotify you can't like, comment, and subscribe. Well, if you're listening on Spotify, then fuck you, I guess.
Chismoso. 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 Chismoso.